rudders, close grip bow handle, SRB field rest, Camo FX, scent step dispenser, Jenksum scents, Pop Todd's Outdoor Products.
We're going to have no fun with the base here. Climb. Set. Pull up. The nice part with this is use all the tension on your heel down the front side of the stand. So as you climb.
RPM bow fishing and Hilltop Sports.
How's it going, guys? Joe here from Team Pretty Elite. Just headed out to one of my spots here that I have not been on since last turkey season. I only turkey hunted. I've got permission to deer hunt on it, but there's about 4 or 5 other guys that deer hunt out there as well, and for me that's just too much pressure. So I typically only do spring turkey on it. From what I've come across is I'm the only guy that goes out there during the spring, so we're going to go out there now. It's about 7:15. Go out there and get my blind set up and my camera set up and my chair and all that good stuff, and probably do a little bit of shock call and see if I can't get them to gobble a little bit and see where they're roosting at. And as well, going to go ahead and do a little bit of mushroom hunting since they're actually popping now. But we'll get a little bit more B-roll here, and we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Get some, hopefully get some good footage, and well, to be quite honest, hopefully we get a good tom on the ground. Hopefully, we'll see. But I know there's at least, for sure, there are 3 different big toms that were Jake's 2 years ago. I've kind of watched them grow. They run along the highway here quite a bit, and so they're at least 3.5-year-old birds. So I mean, they're going to have some decent beards on them and some good spurs, and we will. We're actually pulling up now, so we will hopefully have some luck tomorrow morning. Wasn't able to get out this morning due to the wife being a little bit ill, and one of the kiddos kind of got sick, so I wasn't able to get out this morning like I wanted to. But that's all right. You know, hey, you got to take care of the family first. So anyways, guys, I'll get a little bit more B-roll here on my way out as I'm walking through the timber, and as I get back and kind of show everybody my setup and show everybody the spot, and we'll be back. As I was walking back to the timberline here, walking through the field, come across this sign. Found it kind of funny. I'm sure some of us other folks on here will find it funny as well. Well, here's tomorrow morning's spot. Hopefully we can get some coming through here. Hopefully, we'll see. Alright, guys, I got my blind all set up. Trying a different spot in my blind for my camera, actually, and it's actually going to be my right side this time, which I'm right-handed, so it's going to be a little bit better because I have my bow on my left. So hopefully I can not have the shakes like I did last time when I was trying to adjust the camera as they come in. And instead of having my decoys straight out in front of me, I'm actually going to kick them off to the left of my window, and I'll kind of show you here. What you see me do in the last video was I got my blind set up, grabbed my rangefinder, and I like to set my decoys up a little closer than most people. I actually prefer mine to be anywhere from 8 to 10 yards out. I don't know why. I just don't want them to be further away from me. I actually want them to be a little bit closer. Again, that's just my preference. I can't really explain why I do it, and it's just what I feel comfortable with doing. I know I can be quiet enough to draw my bow, get my bow, whatever I need to do. So what's good is I'm actually facing north, so to the east of me that way. Sun's gonna be coming up, decoys are gonna be right out off to my northwest of my window here just a little bit. I mean, even if the turkeys come from the west a little bit, I'm still gonna be able to kind of lean forward and shoot on the side of my window. So I'm not worried about that happening. But what I am happy about is the fact that I've got the east over here to my right. So the sun's gonna be shining on my decoys really well. And what's another good thing about this property is right behind me, I've got one of the main creeks behind me. It's called Beaver Creek, and it's actually a pretty bigger creek. It's got some spots in it that you could probably do a little bit of catfishing if you wanted to, some deeper holes. But anyways, there's at least a dozen or more roosting trees literally right behind me and along this creek edge here. So again, that's kind of why I chose to come out here tonight. Get everything set up, get everything in my blind except for my bow. Obviously I'm not gonna leave my bow out here overnight, but I've got my decoys out here. I've got my SRB field rest out here. I'll go ahead and leave my camera or my tripod, take my camera home with me, but I'll have my tripod out here. So the only thing I have to bring tomorrow morning is my bow, my bag with all my calls, and my breakfast, and myself. Morning, guys. It is 4:40 in the morning on April, what is this, 23rd, 24th? 24th, April 24th. 4:40 in the morning. Got a nice bright moon, clear day. It's 56 degrees. That is absolutely perfect if you ask me. I'm headed out to the blind now, driving out that way, get a little more B footage, B-roll, whatever you want to call it. And like I said yesterday, man, we got all set up last night and ready to go. And so actually, as I'm sitting here watching and driving off to the west, there's a little bit of colorful flashes going off up there in the sky. Might have to get out and check the phone real quick. Here in the blind, haven't heard any gobbles yet on the roost. I think I may have heard a faint one off to my east. I can't tell. There's so many songbirds right now. I'm not gonna do a ton of calling right now. Daylight really just cracked, so I'm gonna give it about another 20 minutes. 15-20 minutes or so. brought this guy in from about 200 yards to my east. He's the one that I heard that faint gobble this morning off to my east. I had a couple more gobbles up to the north. I haven't heard them. I mean, I had about 3 or 4 guys gobbling. That's just a Jake. But I brought him in from quite a ways. And I haven't heard anything from the other birds up to the north yet. I don't know what's going on with them. They were just gobbling back and forth, cutting it up. I don't know what this guy's deal is. He came in right where I wanted him to come into. I don't know if he couldn't see the decoys or not, but then he walked off into the thick right there and popped back out. And I know I can see him. I mean, I got him set up high. I don't know, I think he's kind of confused. Like he's looking for love, but apparently he doesn't like, he must not like my Jake decoy or something, I don't know. I might play with him a little bit more and then just sit quiet and see if he doesn't help me bring in a mature tom. Well, guys, I worked as hard as I could. I'm not really sure what happened to the toms I had up to the north of me. That, like I said, that one Jake, I worked him all the way in from about 200 yards or so from the east. And boy, I tell you, on the way in, he sounded mature, big, and kind of got the old thumper pumping a little hard there, especially when I looked out my back corner window and I seen his head kind of coming on the field edge there, because the field's just about, I don't know, 50 yards or so, 45 yards. I could see his head coming, and then I seen him pop underneath the fence, and I, like I said, I got a little excited, had the bow in my hand and everything, ready to go. And for some reason he didn't, I don't know if he didn't see my decoys right away or what, or if he just didn't like my Jake decoy, but he ended up coming in and worked through some of this thicket here, just right here, this little shrub trees and whatnot and thorn bushes, and he popped out over here kind of behind my decoys. Boy, he was just cutting it up, man, gobbling like crazy, but like I said, he didn't want to commit to it, but again, he only had about a little 2-inch beard on him. Definitely not big enough for me. And actually, the last Jakes I had, they had a bigger beards than that. They had like little 3-4-inch beards that stuck straight out. But well, you know, it is what it is, man. Like I said in the last video, these guys got a mind of their own, even though it's the size of a pea. But they got a mind of their own, and if they don't like something, they're not coming in. And like I said, I don't know what happened to the guys up north here, because at one time I had, you know, there was at least 3 to 4 different gobbles going on, and I don't know if I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I got a farmer. He's in the field now planting, so I don't know if he spooked the guys up to the, you know, the toms up to the north or what. So. Yeah, is what it is. I'm gonna go hit one more property probably later this week, and it's a new spot I haven't hunted yet, at least for turkey or deer. I've had permission to hunt it for the past couple years, and I kind of overlooked it. And Cody and I went out and scouted it in I don't know, it was probably 3-4 weeks ago. Seen some really good signs, so hopefully that'll be promising. Hopefully I can get something over there, but I may have to come back to this one because I know there's some toms in here. There's some big ones in here, and I think it's going to be a luck of the draw kind of thing. And you know, honestly, I may have to go sit up in the field up to the north, and because as I was coming out last night, you know, I was hooting, trying to get them to shock gobble, and I didn't have anything. And but that's one thing I didn't do is when I got up north on that the north tip of this property by the field, I didn't gobble up there. I mean, excuse me, I didn't do any owl calls or any hooting, because I mean, there's really only maybe 4 or 5 little roosting trees up there, but and again, it's this timber here. This it's really thick, really overgrown, a lot of thorn bushes. So I didn't figure I would have any luck of them working down this way, and I think that's kind of what happened was that farmer got out there and got going this morning, and may have pushed them off the other way. So it is what it is. It was a great morning. Got some decent footage of the Jake, and I enjoyed it. It is food for the soul, brothers. Food for the soul. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna finish packing up and get out of here. I'm actually gonna swing by my honey hole and check for mushrooms. I kind of mushroom hunted around here a little bit, didn't find any, so I'm gonna stop by my my honey hole and see if I can't pick me a couple. So all you guys out there that are still pushing hard and hitting it hard, good luck to you. I'd like to thank Strutters for our calls, SRB Field Rest for our rests, Camo FX for our face paint. I have not had the pleasure of getting any, as you can tell, but it's coming soon. So anyways, guys, stay tuned. We'll be back next week.